Okay, so I'm going to educate you guys a little bit. Welcome to Mystery Crate.
Hey.
Okay. The reason you count down from 5 is because in the live TV setting, you don't want the 2 or the 1 to come out on air.
Right.
Because the camera guy might go early.
Right.
Here we count down to 1 because most of this is recorded. So if you do 5, 4, 1, it's easy for me to just go snip, snip, and it's gone.
But it's still fancy. It just makes me feel like a real professional.
Yeah, like you know what you're doing.
When you're counting down or with the right.
The 2 and 1 need to be silent.
Yes.
Like in Wayne's World.
Like podcast. It's like hard to describe that, what I mean by it. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's why you don't say 2 or 1, because they don't want that audio to come out on live TV.
Can I tell you how Mystery Crate has affected my life lately?
Sure.
No.
Well, Mr. Fuentes over there, or you guys were, I forget what the subject was. I believe Billy was leading because it was fast food related. And he was championing.
It was probably urine or poop related if Billy was leading.
What does that mean?
You talk most about fast food per capita than anybody else here.
Huh.
I mean,
I feel
am
like my
wrong?
fast food per capita is not
Yeah,
weak.
you're more shamed about it. He's more proud of his fast food experiences. You
I
have
am?
a secret. Yeah, you talk about it all the time. Burger King, I got this deal, I got that deal, I got this
like
app,
a good
I got
deal.
that app. Yeah.
Oh,
Who
I love
doesn't?
a good app. Yeah.
I love an app.
I have a Pampers app now. Don't get me started.
Whoa, that's-
yeah, game
I
changer.
will not. I will continue with what I was saying. Then. Fuentes has, he was championing the original chicken sandwich. I cut Billy off so badly. Championing the original chicken sandwich from Burger King, which has been a lifelong treat of mine. I love it so much. I always get it the same way. No lettuce and cut in half like I'm a baby. Just give me it in 2 separate pieces.
You tell them to cut it?
I tell them to cut. It used to come cut in half.
No,
so
it's
cute.
never
Back
cut.
I don't
in
remember
half.
it cut in half.
I've never
You
seen
were
it cut
too
in half.
young. Back in the day, it was cut in half. So unless they only did that at my
So
Burger
you want
King.
them touching your sandwich? Like,
No, it's
more than they
wrapped.
already
It's
are.
wrapped,
Yeah.
and then they cut it through the
They
paper.
cut
like
through
the
paper.
yeah.
Yeah, and they cut it at like a diagonal, so the first bite is so easy of each of them because you know it's got a triangular end, and so and the thing I love about it, and it's so gross.
Yeah.
But they are so like greasy
Yeah.
that you like take a bite and you just get a mouthful of oil and grease and,
And
like a
mayonnaise.
shit ton of mayonnaise.
Yeah, I
And,
love
and the bread, it doesn't even feel like bread. It's got like a more of a chewy consistency.
So
It's
this is a
almost like
positive
rubbery.
experience you're
It's a
describing.
great experience.
Me
It's
and
probably
Izzy,
super unhealthy, which is why I haven't had one in like 10 years until I heard Mystery Crate and I was like, my mouth just started watering and I've had 3 of them in the past
We bonded
3
on Twitter
weeks.
over this.
Really?
Yeah, we bonded
4
about
weeks.
it.
3 of them in the
It's-
last
it's
4 weeks.
delicious.
One of them, Chris, secret meal.
No.
Whoa.
You didn't tell
I
Anthony.
snuck, he wanted me to go get pollo tropical. And I'm just like, I'm so done with pollo tropical. That's like, and he also just bought the whole catering thing for the week. So all week long, all I'm eating right now is pollo tropical. I would kill for a Burger King
Do you
sandwich
guys
right
ever
now.
do the thing? And I know like this is maybe first world problems and like not everyone has the means to do this. Do you ever order from like disagree with your spouse on what you want to eat? And it's just like, all right, we're ordering from 2 places. That's it. It's happening.
He won't let it get that far. He won't let it get that far. He'll just like guilt me into explaining why I am not choosing his place. And then if he can't convince me, then he'll just be like, fine, I'll get what you want. I'm like, why can't we get 2 separate stuff? We got the Uber One thing.
I just thought of something. Have you pollo tropical yet?
No.
You don't.
Do you know what it is?
But I know, yeah, I've driven past it.
Whoa.
And you've never been enticed to go in based on that smell?
Not particularly.
It's
What
delightful.
I don't even know what it is.
I mean, it's basically a rice bowl, but it's like, Caribbean Latin style. It's just certain flavors and certain things. And like, you got some plátanos in there. You've got, white rice, black beans, chicken on the grill, stuff like that.
well, that sounds nice, but it doesn't look
Yuca.
nice.
Well, it
doesn't
is.
look
It's
nice.
delicious.
It's
But
great.
it, like the outside is not. It. I never was like, I want to go there.
Yeah.
The Hispanics really love it.
Mhm.
Like a lot. It's crazy to me how Hispanics that were born in like this city or just in general, they very rarely like venture into different cuisines. Like my mom's husband's Colombian and he only wants pollo tropical. Like if it's not made in the house, he wants pollo tropical.
Take
and
a
that's it.
break. Like
Yeah.
even switch up the chicken kitchen every once in a while. And he's like, no, chicken kitchen sucks. What are you talking
No,
about?
chicken-
It's
Nah,
the same
that
thing.
curry sauce.
Chicken
That's
kitchen.
curry
Like
sauce.
it?
No.
No.
Someone like.
Oh,
told
you
me
tried
about
it.
and they were like, "This is gonna change your life."
No.
No, you
And-
always have to have a good first experience. If you have a
It
shitty
wasn't-
first experience,
yeah.
you're never going to go.
It
Your
was
pita
not that
probably
good.
didn't open.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
was,
worst when that
like,
pita won't open. It's like,
Real
oh, I'm going to fill
mid.
this thing
And I
up.
thought
And
it was
it's,
gonna be great.
it's the worst. I like chicken kitchen.
Can any of you remember like
fill up the whole pita?
one meal that you had that changed your life? Because I can't. Like, because that's obviously a common like expression, like, "Oh, this will change your life," and it's like my life's just always going to be the same. There's nothing changing it at this
I mean,
point.
the first Burger King original chicken sandwich changed my life. I'm not gonna lie. The first, I need like some Pablo highfalutin sound here, but the first time I went out, not the first time, but one of the times I went out to Napa and we did a wine tasting at like a sparkling wine place. And we did like a caviar tasting with, oh my God.
Sounds amazing.
It's just unbelievable. And it's just so simple. It's just some caviar. I chose like Ruffles, like potato chips and some creme fraiche. And you just have the bite and then you have some sparkling champagne afterward. And it's heaven. And it changed my life in a way that I have included random caviar purchases, but like separate, like I don't do that very common. Like I do it every maybe 6 months or so, go get some caviar, experience it at home, and just enjoy myself. It literally changed my life, but I get what you're saying. People say that way too much.
I have two separate options for this that as I was sitting here trying to think, like, do I have any life-changing meals?
Life-changing is a bit extreme.
No, but life-altering meals?
It's very similar thing.
Yeah, well.
Are those different sentences?
So the first time...
Altering seems negative.
Let's just go with super memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorable. I like memorable.
Yeah, but these memorable food experiences are more for just changing the way I approached food. So I was one of those kids who just had a very, very plain diet, who only liked very specific meals and only would eat chicken nuggets until I was like 16.
Jesus.
It's like half my family.
Yeah, and just like generally did not have a wide-ranging appetite for anything. Everything was covered in ketchup, and that was it. And then I went to Chili's and I had a grilled chicken sandwich, and it had honey mustard on it.
And you were just like,
and I had never, up until I was a teenager, and I had never had honey mustard. And
This is really sad.
it changed my approach to life because now I told you, I back here said I have a very sad white answer.
How old again?
So I probably 14.
the Chili's grilled chicken
And I had
sandwich.
never had honey mustard. This is not about how great the grilled chicken sandwich was.
Honey
This
mustard
is about,
discovery.
there's this additional condiment that I've been depriving myself of all of this time, thinking mustard and honey, how does this make any sense? This must be terrible. And I was so afraid of food. And so that was one answer. But a
Real
second.
quick, how
please,
soon did
follow
you
up.
get your first poor honey mustard experience? Because there are some trash honey mustards at restaurants.
Yeah, there are. I haven't had one that's like such a scarring in the opposite direction that I'm like, nah, I'm off honey mustard for a while because I use it sparingly. But it was just an additional.
To redefine it. Oh, we don't have honey mustard. We have a honey Dijon dress. Don't get that. Don't get the
Right,
honey
because
Dijon
that's not
dressing.
good.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not as good as an actual honey mustard, nor are all of the knockoffs of dressings actually on salads like that. But then my other example, and this one's pretty rough, but I was also not one to really eat veggies as a kid. And so my mom thought the right move would be to sneak veggies into my food.
Okay.
And so
I was 22 years old.
Yeah, I was at a young age. I mean, I was like probably 8 or 9 years old, maybe even younger. And I was having a grilled cheese and then opened the grilled cheese to find all sorts of spinach inside of the grilled cheese. And my world was shaken. My mind was blown over the idea that there were these vegetables snuck into my grilled cheese. But what that did is turn me off from grilled cheese and any other type of cheese. I've mentioned on Mystery Crate before, lactose intolerant Jew, the whole thing. And so as a result, I was already pushing it on having grilled cheese. And then that just turned me away from grilled cheese for years and years and years and years and years until I don't think I had a grilled cheese again until I was in my 20s.
I thought it would just turn you away from like letting other people cook for you.
Well,
You
that-
got secret vegetables inside.
She also used to give us white grape juice watered down and tell us it was apple juice because we didn't know better. But my mom was trying
Was
to be
she
healthy.
saving money?
No, this was just simply we don't want the kids to have too much sugar. You remember the aughts and like the weird diet fads? Come on.
The Popeyes chicken sandwich wowed me the first time I had it. I don't know about like regular meals. I'm thinking in the fast food realm. When's the last time I was like blown away? Because usually it's just you're eating fast food. You feel like shit afterwards.
There's
and that's
one
it.
spot, Chris, that always hits the fast food spot.
Taco Bell's great.
All right.
Wow.
That's the one.
What?
That's the one.
Oh, no.
Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell, but it's never like Billy set it up as like this like earth-shattering meal. So the only thing in the fast food realm that like enters that conversation is the Popeyes chicken. The first when it was like when
it was a
everyone
big
was
deal.
when you needed like when there was long lines.
That was like 2021, I want to say.
Feels like it, yeah.
Bro, 2020 and 2020 to 2022, a blink. Like, honestly, I woke up and it was 2022. It's crazy, like, how that
Didn't
worked.
we do a bit before when you guys were at ESPN where I was saying that I've made the best blank that I've ever eaten before, and like nobody believed me?
Yeah, it's not true.
I mean, I
Which thing,
definitely.
though?
It was a burger. I made the best burger I've ever eaten.
It's such a
No.
But do you
narcissistic thing to say.
Lucy just
No.
Lucy just killed me with a no. Why no?
It's the best thing you've ever had. You've never made.
The best burger I've ever
Yeah,
had.
What bun did you
There's
have? Just
zero.
the,
Why not?
just the
Zero.
Publix
we
bun?
talked about this. I don't remember everything
Because you're not a
about it.
professional. That's
I
why.
don't
she's-
remember everything about it. But why can't I? What if you just do it by accident?
It's
There's
such
no
a
way you did that by accident.
it's such a
Really?
pretentious thing to say.
I'm the best chef I've
just
ever
say
eaten.
one of the
didn't
best
say
burgers.
everything I've ever made is the best such and such. It just happened to be the best burger.
I'm picturing
I've ever
Anthony
eaten.
across the table. Like,
Yeah, it was
I mean,
before
it's
Anthony.
good.
No,
It's all right.
It's good.
If Anthony was there, he would have given every detail because he remembers food more than I do. But it was before
He
Anthony.
would have been like,
I'm
it was
telling you.
good.
It's all right. Yeah.
Do you actually remember though the best such and such that you've ever eaten? Because like
No.
you were talking about the chicken from Popeyes, and like there's this restaurant down here, Stubborn Seed. He also has Beauty and the Butcher. Jeremy Ford's the chef's name, and he has the best chicken like by far I've ever had. By
Oh,
far, and
I
he
gotta
has them
go-
at both restaurants.
I gotta go get
It's
this.
amazing.
I love fried
it's,
chicken.
It's sous vide. It's always made perfectly every single time. The flavors are amazing. Like never will I. And Stubborn Seed is a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, I'll take the chicken. Like that's got to be great.
Greg Cody is one that he's the king of, this is the best bacon I've ever had. He'll eat something, like I've heard him say it 50 times about every item. If he's eating something and loves it, this is one of the best baked potatoes I've ever had. He'll ask a waitress to my dad's that guy. He's like, can I talk to the chef? Can you have the chef?
Oh,
at
he's
my
a
chef?
chef
This
talker.
This is
Oh.
the best baked.
Oh
I
my
need to
God.
know the process because this baked potato
That's
is the
not
best
how your
baked
dad
This is
talks.
potato.
Why are you
shocking
turning
to
your
me.
dad
Also,
down?
bad limited fake.
I'm
It's
just
like
saying.
a New Yorker or a
I
Philly
don't
guy
know.
or something.
I'm just saying, it's
His
always
voice got
annoying.
way deep.
Yeah.
Jeremy-
This is the best bacon.
Curious though, as somebody who didn't eat anything, like how varied has your diet become now? Like what's
Way
the
more.
wildest thing you've eaten?
Oh man, wildest is not the direction I would go with any of
joke.
these descriptors, but I would say that I'm definitely more willing to try just about any food. Courtney is vegetarian, and so when I met her in college, and I was someone who had basically no vegetables in my diet or nothing that was of substance, that was a real tricky thing for the two of us to be able to figure out. And so my immediate decision
Just
was
eat
like, all right,
toast all the
I'll open up my diet a bit so that we can eat at some similar places or have meals that we share together. And so now in turn, I mean, I'm primarily vegetarian inside my actual household. And then when I go out to eat is where I'll have.
What's your favorite
Any-
veggie?
I really like zucchini right now. I'm big into zucchini.
It's got to be prepared great.
Yeah, but if it's prepared well,
Yeah.
I really like zucchini.
You know what had a
I
real
also
glow
love
up?
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah,
That's
right
see,
there.
now you're talking.
I
that's
love
that
Brussels
thing
sprouts.
has talk to Carl about that. Like,
What a
Brussels
change.
sprouts have had great marketing.
Best
They used to
over the
smell
last
like
5
farts.
years.
They were
Yeah.
so
They used to smell like farts.
unfairly portrayed in TV shows.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
Yeah.
like the worst thing.
Well, it's a bad
kid
name.
could
They
have
need a
is
better
Brussels
name.
sprout, but so
Well,
good.
the thing is, I saw like a video on TikTok
Overrated.
that Brussels sprouts used to have a real bitter taste, and they've like bred that out. Yeah, they've like
Oh,
altered
That
it.
sounds like there's chemicals
What?
involved in that.
Yeah,
Now I'm not into it.
yeah.
That's like the
Something
same
that.
video I saw about how McDonald's gets their fries so perfect because they
Oh,
only get certain potatoes and they have to use this chemical that you can't even be around. They have to let them dry out inside of like a tent somewhere before you can even go around them. But yeah, let's feed those down.
I'll eat the shit out of those
Are you
fries.
standing by
it's so
zucchini?
good.
Are you standing by zucchini, Jeremy?
Right now, I really like zucchini, especially if
How's
like
it prepared?
zucchini
How are you
inside-
preparing the zucchini?
No, I'll just saute a zucchini
Just a
and
little
just throw
breadcrumbs
that.
on there? You guys ever did
just
that?
put that inside, especially
water
I really like right now zucchini with pasta, like throwing some chunks of zucchini inside of a pasta. It's really good.
All right.
I still haven't found the vegetable that I can say is my favorite. I mean, a green vegetable because I mean, you can cheat and go like carrots or something. You put whiskey glazed carrots on my plate. It's
Oh, so
It's
good.
not going to be. Not going to look like a vegetable to me.
Right.
But I don't even bother that much with vegetables. I mean, I do sometimes, but I kind of just do athletic greens in the morning and say, hey, there's probably vegetables.
Yeah,
in
what do
there.
you eat? How do I?
There's enough in
that
there, I'm
should help
fine.
me look like you, right? What do you eat?
It's funny these days. I eat like a bird.
He eats success.
I don't. So Anthony tells me this all the time. Like, I just have a weird relationship with food, and I don't
As
eat
do
as
I.
much as I used to. Like, there'll be times. It doesn't matter what the food is. I will just have some. I could be super excited about it, and then I'll just have some of it, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm done. And I was just like, I don't know if it's like grossing me out. I don't know if it's a mental thing. The weird part is I got a little sinusitis, like some point, maybe let's say 6-8 weeks ago. Never been more hungry in my life. Like ate every 5 minutes, was eating crap. Like I was ordering pizza, I was getting burgers. That's why I had a chicken sandwich again for the first time in a long time. No, it's so funny. I mean, if we want to go there, like I literally went to a doctor and be like, all right, show me the terpenes, is that what they're called? That is going to make me hungry because that's what I want. And I'm just like,
and he hands you a joint?
Yeah, I was just like, all of them do. And I'm just like, they don't. I'm telling you, they don't. And so it's just like, all right, that's not going to work. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think my only answer right now is to just get sick. And then that way my body will just say, hey, eat a bunch. But
Perfect.
It's weird.
Sounds super healthy. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
Do you guys have a food that you used to like and then you had such a bad meal that you can't eat again?
So many.
I can't eat chili. It's
weird.
What was the experience?
Yeah, my dad's ex-girlfriend Tammy, if you're watching this, get off. I hate you.
An ex-girlfriend named Tammy is just
T-A-M-I.
it's just perfect.
That's how it was spelled, right?
What a
TMI.
bitch.
But
Wow.
she was a terrible cook, and she thought she was a really good cook, and she made chili one night, and I like threw it up. So did my siblings. None of us can eat it since. Even the smell of it like takes me back to a.
I was thinking it was going to be coming out the other end. If I was
No,
being
it's-
honest. Okay.
Chris always finding a way to get it back to
Potty talk.
back to
Every time.
fucking his poop.
Hawk.
Yeah.
You know Joy Taylor, right? She of the Fox.
Who did that?
She is weirded, like creeped out by hot dog water. Is anybody
Who
else
wouldn't
like,
be?
I understand.
Well, I
that.
mean, it's just
I
there.
I mean,
There's nothing
I would say
to
my
it.
relationship with it is pretty indifferent, but I'm not choosing. Like, I don't want to have that around me. That hot dog water.
But like, has to run to the next room. Like if you're like, it's just,
Oh, that's
it's
a
not
little
even
weird.
that. It's not even that bad.
My wife's like that with pickles. Like if there's a pickle on her, like anything, any sandwich, she's
I
just
hate
like
pickles.
she doesn't even want to touch it. Like
My wife is the opposite of that.
if it
I like
touches,
saying my wife.
if it
Sorry.
touches her
My
food,
wife.
she's like she
I was
doesn't.
waiting to see who was going to do that. I thought Jeremy was going to do it, to be honest with you. Have you done that?
I
Walking around
haven't
the house?
actually not once
Really?
yet. I'm saving it for the right moment.
Huh.
My wife. Was that it?
I look like crap. I'm just
Wow.
looking at myself on the TV.
But why'd you turn your Colts blue hat backward?
I don't know, and half my hair is out. It's just,
I look like crap.
Yeah.
He just says.
I'm falling apart.
Your hair's a lot longer than I thought it was.
Thank you.
I think I've only seen
I
Billy
guess.
without a hat
No,
in
I
a
think
year,
it's
like
nice.
4 times. Maybe.
Falling apart because of the new baby? What's going on?
I don't know. It's just life, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard out here.
I want you guys to know that Bimmel texted me letting me know that he loves zucchini pasta as well. So I have an ally here.
He's listening to this.
Yeah, weird, right?
I see. You weren't saying zucchini pasta though.
No, I wasn't. I was
You
saying
were saying
zucchini,
chunks
but
of
I actually
zucchini
really
in
like
pasta.
zucchini pasta also.
No.
But okay, hold on. What's wrong with a little bit of zucchini and squash
No,
inside of a pasta?
no,
a
not
little
a
bit of
fan.
chopped up onion.
I'm just gonna say it. I was
All
trying
of
to be
it
nice.
sauteed?
I was trying to be nice. You picked a really shitty vegetable.
Thank you, Lucy.
Zucchini's shit.
It is shit.
just
And,
not-
and
I
when
was
you
trying
make,
to be nice to you.
I
No,
like
he's right.
zucchini.
No, Cody's right.
I was trying to be nice.
And when you try to make
Okay,
like,
pick a vegetable.
Well, you said Brussels sprouts, and that's just clearly better.
No,
Yeah,
Brussels
yeah,
sprouts on their own are better.
broccoli,
No, you're right.
asparagus,
It's on
green
me.
beans. It's literally
Green
the
beans.
worst.
Green beans, I wouldn't.
No,
talk
green
about.
You
beans
guys
are
haven't had. You guys haven't had my grandma's green beans.
are they covered in cheese?
Yeah.
No, they're not covered in cheese.
Okay, because I know people are like, oh, I love green beans, and they show me that a casserole is just literally all cheese. You
Right.
just like cheese. Just say you
Yeah.
like cheese.
No,
Yeah.
no. Maybe. I mean, I do like some bacon wrapped asparagus. If we're gonna go.
But now you're changing the game. You know. 'cause-
Well,
Yeah,
Bacon
what about
wrapped
that?
date.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
What about that Cuban dish with the rice where they put a bunch of like
Arroz
mayonnaise?
imperial.
Oh my
Oof.
God. How is that not the most unhealthy thing in the
Dude,
world?
it's the best. You eat it and then you just look at yourself in the plate because it's all glossy with oil. You just check yourself out and then you go feel like shit in the corner for an hour.
It's like chicken and rice lasagna. Like it's just a lot of stuff in
Covered
that
in
thing.
cheese. Oh, it's glorious.
I don't eat that, Jeremy, to answer your question.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, I eat a lot more pollo tropical than I let on.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Zucchini's fine.
No,
I feel
it's
bad
not.
now.
No, it's
I'm
not.
like coming.
No, don't back
regret
down.
about-
No, back down. And zucchini noodles, the worst. You need like 5 zucchinis to have a decent amount. 'Cause
How do
by
we
the
feel
time you
about-
cook it down? It's terrible.
How do we feel about homemade pasta?
I tried it once.
It's a pain in the ass.
I've never done it.
I did during COVID. I tried to make. So mind you, I'm not much of a cook. I wish that I was. It's something I want to be better at. And as a project, I was like, oh, I've always thought the idea. And this is just something I've always wanted. I've always wanted to go just spend 2 months in Italy and just like learn to make pasta and have that be all I do for a while.
I think that's what Tony's doing.
I think it's what he's doing right now. Actually,
It's like, you know what? I'm going to go on vacation for 2 months. And everyone's like, yeah, cool.
yeah, sure, man, have fun.
Speaking of
Whatever
Tony,
you want.
I'm sad he's not here. I'm not gonna lie.
have you seen the stories that he's been posting?
No.
Okay, so he posted a story at that famous fountain
Jeremy, we'll get to your
that
thing.
everybody
Yeah.
goes. And if Jason,
Pause.
That's fine. We'll get to it when we get to the New York story.
The Epcot fountain.
and if Jason can punch up the picture I have on my screen right now of Tony at the fountain, and I've been saying this take for a while. There's too many Americans in Italy. I don't like that.
Well, this
Look at
one
us.
in particular, the Trevi Fountain is the king of everyone wants to go there, but you go there and there's 7,000 people.
It sucks. All right.
That's a thing from Epcot. Like, you can go to Epcot and see that same
Is
thing.
that in Rome?
That's
No, there's
perfectly fine.
have you not seen the guy on TikTok whose whole bit is
Instagram.
I can
versus
go
reality.
no, I can go to Epcot and see this.
No.
He's been traveling around
Yeah.
the
Oh,
world
that's
with his
great.
friends,
100%.
and they
I
just
love
keep saying, "I can see this at Epcot."
This looks miserable.
And the Trevi Fountain, I don't believe is at Epcot, but it's similar.
What is the appeal of the Trevi Fountain? Is it just history, or is there something
it's just
specific?
one
Yeah,
of
it
the
was in the
place-
Lizzie McGuire movie.
It's just one of the places you go. There's
What
like
happened to
8
Lizzie
places.
McGuire, speaking of history.
Rome is a little, in my experience with Italy, Rome is overrated. It's like the
I've heard
touristy
that
place.
a lot actually.
Florence is where it's at. If you're
Oh my
looking
gosh,
to
yes.
do Italy, go to Florence. That is like the more locals, just not as chaotic, and everyone, maybe a day trip to Rome, but stay in Florence.
I was talking to Jenny yesterday, and I asked her, she's in London now, and I asked her what's the best time to go to London, and she said either May or September, because no one is out of school yet, or they're back in school.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, the weather's not great, so either May or September if you want
who's
to
Makes
go.
Jenny?
sense. She's
You know,
She's a higher up here at Meadowlark
okay.
who is based in London.
Got you.
I thought she lived here.
She's actually from New Zealand, which I just found out the other day. And she lived in London for a while, and she actually went back to New Zealand. I'm getting a lot into Jenny right here, but she got to run back to New Zealand during
Jenny was a
COVID,
friend of
and she
mine.
lived a normal
she
life
flew,
during the
though.
pandemic.
She flew.
Yeah, she didn't run.
no, she didn't run.
It's a long run.
She was in New York last week too. Also didn't run there.
Yeah, correct. Also took
Yeah.
a plane.
Good to know.
The Amalfi Coast, if you've never been.
Oh, that's
wow.
I've never been to Florence.
dude. I
but
stayed in
could
Florence. I went to Cinque
imagine.
Terre, is where we took a train out there. Oh, that's great. Rome is just a little too touristy.
I actually haven't done Rome. I don't care to do Rome.
Yeah, you're not
it's
missing
literally
much.
just going to be a one-stop. Hey, there's everything that I thought it was. Oh,
Yes.
look, it's
Yeah,
all
don't-
in the city. Okay, I'm out.
Don't you feel obligated to, like, the first time you go to Italy, you have to go to the
No,
touristy
that was the
places,
first
no?
time I went to Amalfi. That was it. I
Really?
remember when I don't know if there was some movie I was watching, probably when I was on like my mid-20s, and there was some people on this like brilliant balcony in the Amalfi Coast, and it looked beautiful, and I was like, I want to go to there. And 20 years later, I finally did. And so it was the only place I went to in Italy was Amalfi. And when I go back next, it's not going to be the only place I go, but I'm definitely going back. Like, I want to be on my deathbed, preparing to be in my little coffin with a window, having memories of Italy because I've been there, of the Amalfi Coast specifically, because I've been there so many times. That's how I want to go.
All right, how do we all want to go? Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just talking about this with my wife actually over the weekend.
Wow.
Nothing gets a
it's like-
marriage started.
right?
I know, like talking about how
death,
you're going to die.
the sweet
Yeah.
release
Quite the
of
honeymoon.
death in our 90s. So that's kind of what I want. Is I want to be 90 or so. Have lived a very full life. have a
Earlier
family.
this week,
No,
you-
well, no.
He was cashing in years.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll cash in years. I guess 90's
said
my
earlier
cap.
this week
90's my cap is
you
what I
would-
was saying.
for $5 million, you would die at 79. You told me earlier
Yeah,
this week.
no, that's true. I think I'd back that for sure.
I don't think I'm doing that.
I'd give up my 80s to have a more comfortable and
You say that
financially
now.
sound
Yeah,
rest
I think
of
that's
my
easy
life.
to say when you're 60 years out. Yeah.
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 It is. The next 60 years will be a lot better if you
Right.
gave me $5 million right now, and then I'll cash out. So what I was saying is my wife and I,
My wife.
my wife and I we'll do the thing. You know, you have the family, have the grandkids, the whole big deal, and then
I love how I
they can
put
just fly us out to Oregon and put us out to
I
pasture.
put him in a spot where he's like, how do I want to die? I don't know.
No, that's how I want to go. I want to be in, I want to make it to a later age, and then just, let me look at the water. You guys see The Good Place? You saw The Good Place,
Yeah.
Mike Schur show, friend of the show.
No.
At the end of The Good Place, essentially, they're just staring out into the ocean during one of their final scenes, and that's not how they go from The Good Place. But that visual of just being there with your partner and being able to just kind of slowly fade into the sweet release of death, just with a big old yawn, just like Billy had in the background.
Did you hear that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all heard it.
I'm sorry.
I'm clearly entertaining everyone today.
Yeah.
We're doing great. Mike literally took what I was saying in the middle of saying, I was talking about homemade pasta, and he just went, hey, we're speaking of Tony.
Yeah, speaking of homemade pasta, what a pain in the ass. Like, why would I spend all day making that shit, beating it up?
Fuck you guys.
I can get a full box for $2.
Because it's probably good.
I went through all the trouble, made some jaggedy looking linguine, boiled it. Pretty much tastes the same.
That's what I'm saying. They sell
Not
it
that different.
You can get a full box for $2. Why am I going to spend all day making this shit? Yeah, like, modern science has made it so I can just buy this shit dehydrated for like £1 million for $10. Why am I going to waste my whole day making this crap?
Well, because sometimes projects are fun, and then you fail at those projects like I did.
We'll be right back.
You guys mentioned last segment Lizzie McGuire and whatever happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of reminded me of a conversation that we were having off air where old shows are having like rewatched podcasts of their own shows with like the stars
Boy Meets World
of
does
the
that.
show. Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Every show
Topanga,
does it.
Sean, and Eric. No
Good.
That's
no main character.
That's always
But that
kind of what
works.
happens.
Yeah.
Even Stevens has one of those.
Yeah, I think the issue that I have, though, is like Topanga, Sean, and Eric, those are main characters.
Those are the next three outside of Corey.
Right. Outside of Corey, those are the most important people. I'm not.
Don't want it.
I agree with Lucy to an extent. The Rewatch podcast is no longer unique. There was a time.
What was
where
the first one? Who had this first?
It was The Office.
Oh,
wasn't
The
it?
Office.
It was
Yeah,
Pam,
that was it.
Pam
No,
and
but
Angela,
that-
No,
right?
that's not the first.
Not
It's not the first
They
one.
were
It's the
popular.
first of the wave.
Yeah.
So it's the first of the wave of all of these people realizing, and it really was like it was mainly around 2020 where everyone realized like, oh shoot, how else are we going to make content? And so everybody started doing these Rewatch podcasts. And there are some of them that are really good. I love the Always Sunny podcast. I think it's great. And they add a lot of new stories and a lot of new depth. And they'll just talk about random topics. And so it's a really well-produced podcast. But there's a lot of them that are just sitting and reminiscing on old episodes in ways that don't really add any sort of new context. But the bigger issue, and this is what we were talking about off air before, is that now a lot of these old Disney Channel shows, so the shows from our youth, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, they're having these rewatch podcasts, but they're hosted by like the 6th or 7th cast members of these shows. And then they're all publicly kind of clout chasing for the people who were once the stars.
Are they being critical of the show essentially?
Yeah, or not even being critical of the show, but they're like out loud. There's two people from the Disney Channel show Wizards of Waverly Place, and I saw a TikTok video the other day of them doing their rewatch podcast and begging for Selena Gomez to come on the podcast and like calling her out for not doing it. And I'm like, this is embarrassing for you guys.
How
No,
much time do you have in your life where you're rewatching something and then listening to a podcast about it? Like, I know there's not new stuff out there, maybe because of this writer's strike, but there's got to be more to do than that.
If I want to rewatch it, I'm just going to rewatch it. I don't need the extra commentary.
I don't mind having a little extra info, right? So like I think it was cool. I think actually The Good Place was an example of one of these shows, that there was a podcast that was coming out as the final season was coming out. So you were basically getting sort of like the old behind the scenes 5-minute things you would get at the end of shows that would tell you a little bit about it, and you'd learn about the writing of the episode and whatever as it's happening. But now to have old washed star
He tried to pull the mic away.
to have old washed stars basically like begging for the actual stars of these shows to join them.
So like if
It's embarrassing.
if you were to do a podcast about like the 2010 to 2014 Miami Heat, but like never get to talk to LeBron James or Dwayne Wade or Chris
No,
Bosh
it's very
or Eric
different.
Spoelstra, it would be the same thing.
No, you're
4
doing
years of
storytelling. You're adding actual context to the story. Where I just think here it's what you didn't publicly on that podcast beg for them to come on and join you.
No,
Seems
I
like-
begged so hard. privately.
Seems like you're moving the goalposts
Privately.
there, Jeremy.
I mean, okay.
I'm just saying. But that's for super fans of the show.
It
but
would
not
be
for,
like
a
if
casual-
Juwan Howard
fans
was
of
hosting
Wizards of
a
Waverly Place.
podcast.
You'd be surprised.
Juwan Howard hosting the Big Three podcast.
Exactly. That's what it's like.
And for what it's worth, I am a pretty big fan of those shows from my youth. Like I literally did have a Nickelodeon rewatch podcast called Nickelodeon
No.
that
Great name.
we would watch the pilots of these old Nickelodeon shows.
Why do we that's
Why do you
another
let me
thing.
talk?
No,
Is that what you're
there's
saying?
another thing on Mystery Crate that happens a
Coming
lot
from him.
When we're not talking about Chris taking a dump, we're talking about old conquest of Jeremy's past, right?
Yep.
Like we've heard about your
Hell yeah.
music singing career.
Mhm.
Now we talked about your Nickelodeon podcast.
You gotta fill
Well, it's
out
because I
gaps.
don't do anything interesting now. I sit at home, I watch TV, I work. So if you want any sort of
Hoisting
stories for me,
babies!
yeah, there's that. If you want any sort of interesting stories for me, they're going to come from when I was like 14.
When James Harden pays $100,000 fine for his comments, does he send like a Venmo? Is that like is he like Zelling?
I think most of that's no. It goes straight to the league.
Or is it just like
you know what it
deduction
is?
from
It's
his
not,
future
that's what
pay?
it is. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
it's
money
deduction.
deducted from his
It's
future
his
pay. He
next.
doesn't
It's
actually have to pay
his
anybody.
first game check, right?
Yeah.
Will come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He should do the thing like the guy that paid parking tickets in pennies.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like there is some funny stuff to be had here, like on social media with paying fines.
Yeah, get his ass, Jeremy. Yeah.
That was a bad yawn.
Yeah, no, you got to be better if you're gonna yawn. I mean, geez.
I realized Chris was about to be done talking, so I had to rush it.
Did you like the Veep podcast?
I haven't listened to
There
it.
was
Joan
a
is the host.
That would work.
Yeah.
See, a main character.
And the press secretary, I forget his name.
Mike McClintock.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a good character actor.
I think I have a picture on my phone of me with Mike and Jonah
Really?
at a Knicks game. You want me to find it while you guys talk?
Absolutely.
Would love that.
All right.
Yeah.
We're supposed to talk.
Yeah, now we have to
Yeah,
continue.
we
to
should have all
talk.
just sat
Problem,
quietly
yeah.
and watched.
How are you guys about scary things?
I don't like scary
I don't like him.
I go, ah!
So, but like you're
Picture of
not,
me
so,
in
so
drag.
you're not like you're not Halloween Horror Nights people then.
No,
Chris
absolutely
Cody and
not.
drag.
Why not?
You're trying to
I
make
think it's
Halloween
nuts.
Horror Nights a thing and keep it going, unless they're sponsors, in which case it is great. I love Halloween Horror Nights.
Can't think
But
of a better night with the friends.
Halloween Horror Nights was like really great when I was like 16 years old, and then I became an adult.
The thing is, I've gone to so many now. I can like see when things are coming at me. So I'm kind of like, oh, there's a corner. Jump scare. Go to the next.
So
thing.
where do you go to just be critical of Halloween Horror Nights?
No.
Why even bother? I don't
at
understand.
this point, I'm paying $300 for like a tradition of going with my friends. But it's going back to something you said, Billy, about Orlando resorts and how this might be an Orlando or like a Florida resident person thing, but you don't really get to enjoy those resorts if you're staying there, if you're from Florida, because you go, you pay for one night, you go to the parks, you're headed home the next day.
I get my money's worth.
But
I'm at that pool. Like if I'm at the park all day, me and my daughter will go to the pool like at like 8 p.m. for like an hour.
But is it like an annual pass thing, or you don't have an annual
That's
pass?
what I was telling him, is that when I probably did like a Horror Nights thing or something where I became an annual pass holder, because it was like, you know, for $10 more, you could just get tickets for the entire year. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then it just auto renewed every year for like
cheaper
6
than,
years.
Yeah, for cheaper than like 2 tickets, you can get a year
Yeah,
pass.
for the year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like $350.
I don't know what it is, but it just kept renewing itself. And then it got to a point where like we just go up and like we'll go to the park and ride like 2 things. And then in the middle of the afternoon when it's really hot, we'll just go to the pool and then we'll go back at like sunset. But if you're going just to go like for a weekend and you don't go regularly, you don't need amenities at your hotel.
I didn't realize they have like different tiers now, and the top one at Universal at least, which only has like 3 parks, is almost $800 a person.
Well, what do you get with that?
You get 3 months free on any pass. I don't know what that means.
That's never
I
worked
thought the whole thing
me.
was a free pass.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
free if you pay $800.
Yeah, exactly. Park to park admission for Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure for everything, I guess. And then there's a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
I
don't
wanna
read that.
Yeah,
No
no
one
thanks.
cares.
Yeah. So
It's fine.
anyway,
Did you find the picture,
I
Izzy?
found it. I just sent it to you
Okay,
and Chris.
Oh,
I
great.
probably should have sent it to Jeremy
Show
and
me.
Lucy,
Yeah,
but I
that's
didn't
nice
think I
for us.
saved
Well, if you're watching
Lucy's
TV,
number.
just put it on the TV right
Chris,
now.
if you forward it to me, I can throw it up on the thingy real fast.
I could just throw it up to the camera here. I could play this.
Did you go up to them? You're in a suit, so you're working this game. You went up to them and like, I want
This
to
was
take
at a
picture?
Knicks game. This is MSG, so
Yeah.
there's like a good amount of celebrities around. And as a huge Veep fan, I was gonna go say hi to them. And the only other celebrity that I actually went to, there's 2 that I've actually went to say hello to at a game. One was Kevin Hart at a Heat Bulls game down in Miami,
Is this picture worth it?
and he ended
Yes,
up.
it's going good.
Oh,
your phone's turning off.
And the other one were these guys. And I'm sorry, and Lil Wayne. I'll always say hello to Lil Wayne if I see him.
The guy on the right here, I don't know his name, but he's funny in a lot of comedies. Like
Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
So a good character actor, as I described him a few minutes ago.
he is in role models. He's a
Nobody
guy-
knows what you're saying.
And-
Everybody was waiting for Fuentes to talk.
in role models.
Came
He's
off
like,
very aggressive.
We need
Jeremy.
people. Fun, right? We need people. Anyway,
Izzy, does
Someone
Lil
got
Wayne call you by name? Does he recognize you? Because he's a big sports consumer.
Yeah, I mean, we've been panelists on Around the Horn, both of us.
Yeah, but does he say like, "Hey, what's up, Izzy," or does he say "my guy"?
He doesn't say my guy because he's not a country singer. He doesn't call me by my name.
Andrew Hawkins always says "my guy" every time I
So
go to
does
say
Tony.
hi to him. So I'm
because he
not
doesn't,
sure.
My
he
guy.
doesn't know our names.
That's what I thought too. But one time he said my name, so he knows my name. So maybe we are guys, you know. But I'm wondering if Lil Wayne did
Now
that
I
move
feel
to you.
bad for saying he didn't.
Tony,
know.
Well, no, he
definitely
doesn't know
somebody
your
who
name.
says
Yeah, I know.
"Say less, my guy," right?
What?
Tony's
he
somebody
definitely
who says
says
"Say
that.
less, my guy."
You know what, Tony? Here, I have a prediction. Tony's in Europe right now.
That's
I bet
crazy,
you,
bro.
right now.
Hey, yo.
Actually, right now it's what time is it there? It's like 8 p.m. there.
That's
He
crazy.
is right now wearing one of those like man purses across his chest.
It's called a satchel. All right, Indiana Jones had one.
I'm just saying we can like. Does anyone disagree that right now Tony's wearing one of those
I'm in
things?
full
Oh, definitely.
agreement. Yes,
I mean,
And
with
thong
five-
sandals for
with-
sure.
and
No,
five-
I don't
5-inch
think- I
shorts.
think- I'm pretty sure he's like anti-thong.
Yes,
sandals.
five.
He's
5-inch
definitely wearing
shorts.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, 5-inch shorts.
What's wrong with the 5-inch shorts?
No,
by the
nothing.
way?
I
I'm
like
wearing
5-inch
5-inch
shorts.
shorts.
I actually look for 3-inch shorts. Can't find them.
Whoa.
I mean, swim trunks. I can,
Dangerous game.
but not really.
Dangerous game. That's right. Billy's right. Dangerous
It's
game.
got a
with 5-inch
lining.
shorts.
Everything is nice and cupped.
3-inch shorts.
Back to the
And we're
dick
back.
talk.
That would cover
Oh, yeah,
everything.
back- we're back, yeah.
I mean, the inseam is 3. No more needs to be known about my wiener. This week has already been very,
Very
difficult
open.
for Lucy.
Very open, I'd say.
Miss
Always.
Jess so much.
You're right. Jess never talks about wieners. So did you guys get Jonathan Zaslow a job? You know, he's a ESPN radio guy now.
I don't know that we have much pull at ESPN anymore.
I mean, you
I
guys
made-
gave him a platform.
I made a call.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, "This guy, we thought we got rid of you."
I don't know what I saw. That is that like he's
doing. I mean, technically we're coworkers, Zaslow
Nice.
and I. Like, technically, I'm pretty sure Zaz is going to need permission to come on the LeBatard Show from now on because he's an ESPN employee. Although he's probably 1099, so maybe not. But I think that's pretty cool. He
Yeah.
goes from local radio forever, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get booted out of here. I'm just going to go national.
That's
Screw it.
awesome.
It's gonna be weird. Like like he's just such a Miami guy.
Yeah.
I can't picture him like doing all the sports.
I mean, he's not afraid of the takes. Like, he'll go hard on a national figure. It doesn't matter. So it's just like, yeah, it's just a matter.
that's a
of whether
bad job,
people-
James Harden. Bad job.
Jess plus none, a reluctant maid of honor attending an off-the-grid wedding in the woods, must confront her perfect ex-girlfriend, her more successful college friends, and every single one of her life choices. Matt Walsh is in it.
No.
I always remember Matt Walsh as the doctor from The Hangover.
Yep.
When they go see, when they see the armband on Bradley Cooper's wrist, and they go to the doctor, and he talks to the old guy, and he's like, "I'll see you next Wednesday," and then he's walking out. He goes,
What's healthier, Coke Zero or Diet Coke?
It's a good question.
either.
kind of the same, I think.
And just Google what Diet Coke does to your body after you drink it. Just Google
that.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Don't worry.
I've seen Lucy. Lucy's on a big Diet Coke kick.
Yeah, the other day, this was a couple weeks ago, I woke up and I wanted a Diet Coke. And I normally never want a Diet Coke. And since then, that's the only soda I'll
You're a
drink.
Diet Coke girl.
I'm a Diet Coke girly. I don't know what happened. I didn't even like it that much.
DCG.
But now I love it.
Gonna be competition in the office for Diet Cokes now.
I'm also a recent Diet Coke girly, and I am a Coke Zero person preferably.
Give me and Billy. Give us the good stuff.
Yeah, so like I like Coke, but
Isolate that. Send it to Bally's.
I love Coke, but Coke Zero
On the
something
weekends
about
or
the
like weeknights.
weeknights and weekends.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I've gratuitous F-bomb for no reason. But I recently have become more of a Coke Zero person because I really like their new like Coke Zero Sugar rebrand, and it actually tastes different. I mean it. It tastes different than
No, I
the
believe
old-
that. I just
the-
thought you were going by the
No.
candles.
I'm not just happy about the rebrand in general, but it actually tastes different. But also recent experience like Lucy, all of a sudden in the last like month or so have been really into Diet Coke, and I never have been. And I think I've realized there's like two general target age demographics for Diet Coke. It's white men 55 and older, and it's white women 35 and younger. That's the main demographics for Diet Coke. And I guess Lucy, you fit into that.
Yeah, it's an epidemic for sure. Like I know so many girls who like that's it, Diet Coke every day. And then there are also like specific types of Diet Coke. I know girls who only go to 7-Eleven and get it from a fountain.
McDonald's is popular.
This is Cougs, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Cougs' whole life.
Regular Coke from McDonald's is elite. That's
Agreed.
come on.
100% agreed.
Isn't Diet Coke just taste like flat regular Coke?
No,
No.
it
That's
has,
the way
it's a little. It has a
different.
specific taste.
has a very
yeah,
specific
and that's
taste.
why
And
like
what does it do to you? Can you tell me that?
I mean, it
It's
just doesn't
not
make you
good.
better. It doesn't
I
make
mean,
you.
and Coca-Cola does. I mean,
The sugar's pretty bad, and I think some of the stuff in there is pretty bad too. But Diet Coke is, people think, oh, you're eliminating the sugar, you're going to be healthier. It's not good for you. I cut it out. I cut out Cokes like years ago.
yeah.
but
it's definitely not healthy. I don't drink it and think this is good for me.
Right.
yeah, she's not there for the health benefits of it. But
Put a
I'm,
little whiskey in there. Call it a day.
I like
Weirdly enough-
whiskey Diet Coke. I like whiskey Diet Coke.
Weirdly enough, it says one of the things that it could cause is an increased craving for sweets.
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
one of the things that I read about it, and I saw
What?
like the details of it, and this would explain why if you're not realizing that you're craving sweets, you're just craving more Diet Coke because you want the sweetness.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, it's not
Also, doesn't
good.
help with like bone health, like bone density or something. It
Bones.
affects you
Bones are
there.
important.
Yeah.
I have pretty weak bones.
So
I
I'm
think.
told,
Yeah, then don't drink Diet Coke.
It's fine.
I'm still gonna drink it.
I'm here watching the Little League World Series, and I'm thinking about Billy's take about how much it sucks.
What's wrong with? I love it. It's good.
Me too.
I just love putting it on.
I barely like watching adults
I
play
don't-
baseball.
yeah,
Like,
Is this projecting our youth dreams of being in the Little League World Series
No.
onto it?
I just
No.
want 2 ABs. Just give me
Right
2
now?
ABs.
Right now,
Oh, I'd
I
love it.
feel like you would probably do well right now.
I think we.
just crushing it off 12-year-olds.
I actually don't know that that's the case.
I think every Little League World Series team should get a former high school player who never went professional, who can still kind of just hang, but not like.
That's you. You can
How many
still
of them
just
are there?
hang.
Yeah,
Who can you hang with?
with a 71-mile-an-hour fastball, I can hang on that.
Can we
hang
talk
on
from
that.
48 feet. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty.
I just wanted a bat.
So
I'm
it
not saying
feels like
that's why I want
95.
2 guys. If you notice, I asked for 2 at bats because I'm not saying I'm going to dominate.
One to get
the first
acclimated,
time.
and then the
Yeah.
other one, yeah, I get you.
I'm just saying, let me run into a fastball.
Hang a little bit over the.
You
But
hang it,
then-
I bang it.
But then you're the 36-year-old
Oh no, it's
who
not a good
just hit
look.
a home run
Right.
off of a 12-year-old. What are you proudly running around the bases?
It's only fun at the moment of
He's proudly
contact.
trotting around the
Bro,
base.
then
I want you to swing, knock it like 40 feet over the fence, and then talk shit to each
Like
person
pimp
as you
it,
walk
like
by.
flip the
Yeah,
bat.
flip the bat
Yeah.
as you walk by the first baseman. Give him a little jump, like he ain't shit. Just keep running it. That's what I want.
I just like the idea of every team
Full
having
Kenny
a grown
Powers.
adult.
Did you not have?
I am 12.
Did you not have a moment like growing? It seems like your sports experience is missing like a moment of glory that you're always either you had a moment that you're trying to recapture, or you never had the moment and you're still hoping that you have that moment.
There's a little
It's
truth
missing
there.
football
The
is what your
baseball
sports history
career
is
didn't
missing.
end the way I wanted. The baseball, I
How did
had
it end?
personally, I had a good season my senior year, but the team didn't do well. So I definitely left some out there. I'd say with baseball in particular. The other sports, I never really had my day.
How about poker?
Poker's future's still ahead of me.
Really?
Yeah,
The future's still ahead of you.
Are we ever gonna do that stream you wanted to do?
I'm gonna. Well,
You said you
I
wanted to
do
stream,
want to
right?
Twitch. I poker's in my
Future's
future.
always ahead of you.
I want to play in the World Series of Poker next year. There, I said it.
Okay.
Next
I'll go
year?
with you.
Next year?
Yeah.
What's
Is that
the
like a
buy-in?
$10,000
Give a call to
cap?
that same
Buy-
person.
No,
that
there's
we
a
have
lot
to
of.
get it
The
sponsored.
main event is $10,000.
You want to do like a satellite, like
But
a satellite off.
I want to play like different events. There's like $1,000 events,
Yeah, yeah.
$800 events.
Is there like a waiting list for the main event?
No,
Because
no,
everybody's
no.
got
They take everybody.
Really?
They had over 10,000 people. This
Well, they
year.
don't take everybody. They take everybody that will give them
Well,
$10,000.
that's what I mean. Like, there's
Everybody
no
with a
limit.
buy-in.
There's no max
You
limit.
pick the tournament, I'll join you.
Dude, I'm
Ooh,
serious.
I
Any
like
idiot that has $10,000 that thinks that they're going
I'm
to win
not-
the World Series of Poker, they'll take.
10K, I would need some backing or some sponsorships. I'm not.
Well, your
doing
dad
it.
has $1 million
media.
to
I'm
go
not-
back
your
9
dad- your
years.
dad
So
admitted
just talk
that,
to
yeah.
him.
Trust
Yeah.
me, I've already sent emails to Friedman. This is in the works.
We're working on it.
You and
Who
Ray
is
Romano at the
Friedman?
same table?
There you go.
Feldman?
I didn't say you said. I said Feldman.
You said Friedman.
Nah, Billy doesn't know his name. It's weird.
You know, there's tapes we can check.
Yeah. I clearly said Feldman, and Billy was like, Friedman? Why would you say that? I was like, what, Billy?
I don't know who this person is, but I find it hilarious.
It's Mike.
The thing that's great is Chris sold that with such conviction. He had me thinking myself. I'm like, wait.
I thought you were talking about Josh. I thought you were talking about Frito. I was like, what? Another local Miami.
He played that off really well. I was like, wait a minute, is his name?
We haven't talked about this on air, but we were talking about Chris wanting to hit home runs off 12-year-olds. So I feel like this is the appropriate place to bring this up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, this has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
You're safe. So when we were at the Marlins game about a week ago, Tony just declared in front of everyone that he thinks that he can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
He can.
Of course he can.
No
He
shot.
cannot.
But he says, like, no, not like a live pitch. Like, if we go to the batting cage,
Yep.
he can work his way up, like, in a day to a 90-mile.
I mean,
per
if
hour
he had
fastball.
1,000
No, but he-
pitches
but
at a
he-
machine, I mean,
he
maybe
said-
he could
Put the
said-
bat out and bunt
Yeah,
it.
he said contact. You didn't say hit.
That's not where it
That's
started.
not how it started. That's how it, when we were like, no. And
yeah.
everyone was saying no, he kind of retreated a little bit.
That I believe. He
Yeah,
said.
when we pushed him in front of actual human beings after he said it to the two of us
should call
in the
him.
privacy of our own sort of conversation, it changed.
The hilarious part about Tony is obviously he'll be the first one to tell you he can do anything. But don't let somebody else tell you they can do something because he won't believe you. I walked into the office last week. I was not speaking to Tony completely, just out of the blue said, hey, I heard your boyfriend thinks he can jump out of the shallow end of a pool. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, no, do you think that? I said, yeah, no, I think that. And yes, I think he can, if proportionally, because he's 5'5", you know, the water's hitting him at the same part that it did. Whoever this other person, he's like, that's crazy. I don't believe it. And then he just walked away. I was like, all right.
That's Tony.
That's crazy.
Doesn't believe
nailed
it.
it.
Now I've got to find a pool that's shorter than most other pools so that Anthony can
That
jump
does
out
seem
of.
very difficult.
No, there's a pool here upstairs that has like a beach entrance. So like you can go as deep as you want in that pool.
And then just jump onto the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I mean,
Wait, but then aren't you uneven though on your takeoff?
I don't think
I mean,
that
you
we're going to
just-
get to the point that matters
Anthony just
anyway.
Why not? I
He
live
needs
in Fort
perfect.
Lauderdale, right
He
here.
needs a perfect scenario.
But I don't. It seems like a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
Well,
jump
just
out.
trust me, you can do it.
Okay.
We tried. We
Just
tried.
Tony.
Have you done this?
No.
Okay. So well,
But
I
I've
trust
seen
you.
him. So we've done a thing where it's like just box jumping as high as he can. And I don't know what the equivalent of box jumping when you're jumping out of the water is, but he like box jumped like 5 feet. It's like as tall as he is. So,
But there's water that would
Yeah,
make
the-
things
I know.
difficult.
but
to-
you're not trying to jump 5 feet with the water. You're trying
I
to go
love the
3
faith
feet.
that you have in him, though. It's
I do.
adorable.
It's cute.
But
I mean,
the buildup is tough though.
that's crazy, but
because
it's cute.
there's
That's
resistance
crazy.
the whole way.
That's crazy.
I'll send you
That's
guys
great.
a picture of his legs and his ass. How's that?
Alrighty. Let's do
Then
it.
you can determine for yourself whether
I don't
he's
think that
strong
proves
enough to do it.
anything.
I mean, it's
but-
probably a good starting point. You need strength from those areas, so it's a good starting point.
It's true.
That's crazy.
Jeremy already has a picture of Anthony's ass.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that
No.
Anthony's? He doesn't.
Go on.
That Anthony is Jeremy's real estate agent.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I just got a text from Anthony while we were recording Mystery Crate asking how the wedding was.
Was it his ass?
It wasn't. It was an ask of how the wedding was.
Does Anthony think he can do this?
A little late on the app.
Should I ask him?
I asked him, and he's
Yeah.
like, probably. But he said he couldn't probably find the pool. But now, if we find the pool with the beach walk in, I think we can do
When
that.
did you get married?
This weekend?
Yeah.
This past
You
weekend?
got a text late week. Jeez.
You also got some color on your face. I see there.
Yeah, man, it's pretty rough. I realized on
pretty rough getting
Sunday.
married?
No, not that. Just
If
the.
you think it's rough now,
It
buddy,
was a
let
little,
me
I just
tell
had a
you.
little too much red on the face, and it was a little too much sun. I looked like someone who was honeymooning in Marco Island. Like it was.
You look like you've been getting after it for like 4 straight days.
Thanks.
What?
Cool.
He's glowing.
Thanks.
A lot of sex.
Yeah, we knew you, man.
Billy's looking around. Like, what the hell
What
was
was
that?
that?
Is Tony here? That's crazy.
He's watching a video of someone jump out of a pool,
Lucy,
but he
Lucy
did it
sent
with
me a
the...
video so you could see this guy jumping out of
Of
the pool. So
Trisha
Jason, if you
Morris
want
jumping out of
to,
a
if you
pool.
want to put that on the
Who was it?
on the
Trisha
scrape,
Morris.
hold on. No thanks.
All right, here we go. I'm
There we
looking
go. Let's
here.
see.
All right, let's see. At slow motion.
This is a big dude, though.
That's the thing.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
but and he's doing 3 feet.
He might be in like 3. Yeah, that's not very deep. He's in.
I don't know.
That's
man.
a lot of LBs.
There's just
on that
so-
guy.
That's a lot.
Iowa.
He's a-
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
no, it's
sorry.
It's
Heavy.
Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, of course.
It's who?
It's Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, of course.
Duh.
I don't know who that is.
Sorry, that's
but-
my frame of reference.
Is that's he's a Buccaneer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. See, look at me.
So a
He's good.
professional athlete can do it,
Yeah.
but I
He's
don't
a
know.
large
There's
dude,
just so
yeah.
much like force holding you down. And
So
It's basically just whipping those legs out. Like your upper body doesn't even go that high. It's like
yeah,
basically
no,
just
it's all-
getting your
it's a
lower.
box jump.
It's
all
getting
it
your
is.
lower legs.
That's not all it is. It's not just a box jump. It's,
a
an
box
underwater
jump in the
box
water.
jump.
Yes, but look. By the way, Dude, I thought his hands touched the ground. Because if his hands touch the ground, that's cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands touch. It's totally off. Yeah.
All right, we got it.
I mean, like, Billy's another skeptic. Put him on the Tony list.
That's crazy.
It is a crazy claim. Like, that's just...
What are you talking about? Those human beings can do it. Why couldn't Anthony do it?
He's a professional athlete.
And?
Anthony is not.
Okay.
He's Jeremy's realtor.
I mean, again, another thing that I would say is if he would have stuck to one sport and thought he could do it at tall, at his height, he would have been probably a professional athlete as well.
Check out Cinephile. This week, we do Liar Liar. Classic.
I don't know. I went to
Second
one of your
baseman,
flag
I'm
football
telling
games
you.
and I saw how mad you were at his performance. I
I
don't know
mean,
that
he
you
wasn't.
believe
He's
he
not
could be
even a
professional
quarterback.
athlete.
He's playing quarterback because he has to because he's the best athlete out there.
If you're interested in Izzy's shirt, you can get it at shop.thegregcodyshow.com. Nice hat.
Yeah, he's there like, guys, promos. He just wanted to plug the
Why
shirt.
Yeah, he just wanted to plug the
I'm
shirt.
I'm
Yeah.
doing the plugs. Anyone?
Lucy,
Lucy,
you
what
got
to
anything to plug?
I have started to kind of figure out what my job here is.
What is it?
Yeah. Don't tell the people. Tease
I
them.
don't think I can tell you yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I totally can, but just
Is it
follow-
college football related?
A little.
Oh,
So follow the LeBatard Show on social media.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Listen to Miami Mic'd Up. We have Josh Appel this week.
Really? What's
Yeah.
Josh up to?
Little Marlins, little NFL. It'd be great.
Izzy.
We've known each other for 20 years.
I'm dating somebody who can jump out of the shallow end of a pool.
Billy, hurry up. God bless football.
Okay, bye.